Hello everybody, welcome to another video here on the channel. This is episode 21 and 22 of my Chart Annotation Series review series. So, if you haven't already, check out episode 1 and just work your way through. It's going to be a lot of watching, but you'll get a much better understanding of price action and how I look at it intraday. There's going to be a lot more added coming next week, but for now, I'm just going to do one more week of just these simple concepts, and then my next episodes will be charting sessions, and that will come also from the Discord community that you can join in the description down below. You can have free access to a course and just a trial for everything in my server. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, we don't actually need this up right here. This is at 7:30 a.m. and let's check out the other price ranges. Let's check out the other time frames. So on this 4 hour, you can see we had a massive sell-off, and then from all of last week, we kind of bought up and we retook all-time highs. So I'm actually going to do this, and I'll just put that. Okay. So we've reached all-time highs, and we have now rebalanced a little bit into this 4 hour. You can see we wicked up. We're going a little bit more down. So we'll see what happens here. We could either go a little bit lower, maybe rebalance into this 4 hour, or we could just keep heading higher. If we're strong enough, we're going to keep heading higher. So now let's go to the 1 hour. In the 1 hour, you can see we bounced off this for value gap right here. And let's look at the range. We had not tapped discounted this leg. Let me drink this here. It's really not too much here. Let's go to the 15-minute. So this is kind of the overnight session. We came down. We swept these lows. Bought back up. We have these two 1 hour for value gaps right here. So the annotations obviously show we'll go lower, but yeah, so we're also into this 15-minute fair value gap and this 1 hour, so we could head a little lower here. We also did respect this 15-minute, so we respected this bearish 15-minute, sold off, came back up. Now we're in it again. We may respect it again. You can see we've also respected this 1 hour fair value gap once, or sorry, 15-minute fair value gap once, and this 1 hour once. So we're coming back into it twice. We may respect it again. Now let's just go into the 1 minute to start our day. Alright, so playing price action here. Let's just keep watching this. So we have an SMT created right here. We also have this 5 minute that we've been respecting. So this SMT makes the draw of liquidity up here. I want to see us create a fair value gap, which we do right here. This means this would be protected low. And now let's see what happens here. And right here, we fail. Okay, so why does this happen? First, I want to check this. So do we take it here? No, we don't. So right here is the SMT, and we fail. But on ES right here, we create another SMT. So this SMT created, this is a little bit difficult of a situation. So with this model should fail, but ES never actually took this low right here. That's why we have a fair value, or that's why we have this SMT, I believe. Let me just check this again. So it's this right here. You can see right here, this was the SMT. like if we looked at ES down here, we did form this SMT, and if you made this protected low, this would have never got taken, this high would have got taken. So this trade did fail, but on ES it did not fail. Also, you can see we're in an uptrend going into a downtrend, so a little bit less probability that this SMT will work out, because with this displacement down, this could right here be your break of structure before the macro, your market structure shift. This could be the fair value gap tap, and for us to head lower, just like this. Could also possibly see this get respected as second entry to then possibly head a little lower. Might not though. Yeah, so that macro was kind of crap. This is the low that was created from this macro. Watching more structure. Alright, so right before this macro right here, we form an SMT up here. We are also in an uptrend. This is a little bit more better. I could see us selling off with this macro. So right here we sell off. We take this SMT TP, which is also, we can draw out a couple things here. From this SMT right here, this is protected low, and then this right here is SMT TP, but that ends up getting taken right here because we have an SMT, right? This SMT shows that we're actually taking this high up here on ES. Okay, so now we have this displacement down. I want to see a rebalance into here. This will be your first entry to go short. Even though we did take this SMT TP and protected low out, we could still head a bit lower because of this macro. So we're really not doing much. Personally, if this was me, I would just take myself out of the position. Maybe I'd hold it though, but we'll see what happens. So we do take out this low. That's first TP hit. And then we take out this low right here. That's second TP hit. Now we're into this 1 minute, or 1 hour fair value gap. We may respect it. We also got a bunch of fair value gaps right here. So we do end up making our way down. And then if you were to have runners down, you could have this be TP. This could be final TP down here. Alright, so right here, right before this macro, we have a sell-off. You can see we've been into a downtrend. So I want to see some sort of activation from this macro to make us get a reversal. Right here we come up, but we form an SMT with displacement down. So we may see a little bit lower here. You can see right here, even though this is at market open, if you were to see this SMT, fair value gap created, put your entry right here, and your stop up here. This would be a winning trade because it would come down and take this SMT TP. And then an SMT is formed here with displacement up. That takes out this SMT TP. We come up to here. We're now in a premium of this range. We form an SMT right here, waiting for displacement up, also followed by this macro. We have a downtrend. Macro is going to reverse us to go in an uptrend. Another SMT created right here. This SMT TP from this SMT is hit. Then we form another SMT right here with displacement down. Here's the fair value gap that's created. We tap into this fair value gap, but we end up going higher because we created an SMT down here. with displacement up. So this one was a little bit more difficult too. This low should have got taken, but it didn't. So this is just sort of an example of, these models sort of battling against each other. If you were in this trade, let's say you took this trade, like once you started seeing this candle go down, you wanted to be risky and take this trade. If you saw this SMT form and a little bit of displacement up, I would get yourself out of the trade. Also, if you were to enter on this 1 minute right here, you would have to also pay attention to this SMT. So now that this got disrespected, right, and this got respected, this is showing that a bearish model got disrespected and a bullish model got respected. So that means we're probably going to go higher, right? That this sign right here of this protected high getting taken is a sign that we're going to go higher. So right here, we create this fair value gap and we tap into it. This is the first fair value gap after this soup. I would expect, what is this? I would expect this to get respected, so I would take this pretty much every single time. So first entry would be right here, and I'd be looking to take up maybe up at this protected high. So right there, that gets hit. You could continue to take some more off, maybe up at, you could scale these highs. Let's say this high is the next target. Being a little patient, we have an SMT confirmation to go up higher. And then that TP gets hit. All right, so now we're in an uptrend going into this macro. Let's see if we see any sort of reversal here. Nothing yet. So no reversal in this macro. You would just sit there and watch it. Okay, we have an SMT form down here. Let's see if this high gets taken. It does get taken. We also have a fair value gap right here to possibly go higher. Not really getting any retracement. Here's a fair value gap that gets hit. This could honestly get respected because it's the first fair value gap that we tap into after an SMT, but we've already gone quite a bit of ways. And if we do look at the manipulation candle, we could go to this 2.5. It doesn't look like we want to. Okay. This is not really a good example of a manipulation candle. So right here, we're in an uptrend going into this macro. Let's see if there's any type of reversal. Looks like we just keep going higher. We do go down here, but we do create an SMT. So if this gets displacement up like this, I don't expect it to be a reversal. I do expect this SMT TP to get hit. So here's a fair value gap created, tap into it. You could honestly put an entry right here, especially now that we're done with the macro. Right, macro doesn't have to be a reverse, it can also be a retrace. So you can see this actually came down and swept all of these lows right here. These are engineered sell side liquidity. We swept that and then we went higher. And right here, if you tapped into this fair value gap, this could be in first entry to then take out at this high. Just watching price a little more. We generate some structure here, finally take out this protected low. And then going into this macro, we're having a downtrend. And so I want to see us possibly reverse to the upside. Looks like we're still just selling off here. So far, macros have not been that great in any of these examples. You can see this one, it was okay. This one, we had a downtrend, reversed up. This one, we just continued. This one, we just continued. This one, we're just continuing. And then right after the macros when we reverse. So we create an SMT right here, displacement down. With this displacement down right here, I would honestly probably enter in this. So we have a 1 minute right here. You can put an entry here. The only scary thing about this is that we create an SMT at this low. So I probably would be hesitant to take this. I'd probably take second entry and let this SMT get broken. So right there, this SMT is broken. We're just really, really bearish. We want to see lower. So now we tap into a second one. For example, this one right here. This is probably one that I would take. This would be second entry. We'd come down. Now right here we did create an SMT, so you would just have to find an area to take off. I'd probably maybe take off at this low, because we probably had an SMT like we probably had our SMT like right here, right there, right. It kept probably changing, so this is where the SMT is now. Once we get this fair value gap created, this is showing us that we're wanting to go higher. This is your breakaway gap, right? Looking to see a possible retrace, and my high that I want to see get taken is this SMT TP. We create little small internal soup models, SMT. This SMT TP gets taken. We come back up, take this protected high. Same thing's going to happen right here. SMT TP gets taken. We're going to come back up, take that protected high. We're also going to come up, take this protected high. You can see on a smaller model right here, or on bigger view, same thing happens right here. SMT formed, SMT TP gets taken. We come back up to take out the protected high, and then we take out this SMT TP as well. So now we're in an uptrend going into this macro. I want to see us possibly reverse. Still nothing yet. Okay, so right here, we have our market structure shift. We close below this low. I want to see this fair value gap. If this fair value gap gets tapped into, right here it's getting tapped into, you could possibly look to take an entry, yet we don't actually respect it. We come up here to this previously visited 1 minute fair value gap. And we form an SMT up here. So now that we formed this SMT and respected this again, I honestly may buy into this, the close of this candle. But if not, I'd wait for a fair value gap retrace. We don't end up getting it. We get one right here. So we could possibly head lower. But this is sort of the end of the day. I really wouldn't take anything. It's probably just going to be slow. Just a little bit choppy, and then just consolidation the rest of the day. Just to expand on this a little bit, I do also want to look at where daily open was. So daily open was right here. So with this daily open, you can see we traded below it. Let me see the sessions. All right, so Asia was sort of in the middle. London was sort of the middle. You can see London high was taken right away. London low was taken by, Asia high was taken right away. Asia low was taken by London. London low was taken right away. So we just had to come up, take London high, and just keep heading higher for the rest of the day. All right, so now I'm going to skip ahead here. That is not what I meant to do. Hold on. It's Tuesday. Perfect. All right. So now let's go to Tuesday's action. I'm gonna let some more structure play out here. Okay. So Tuesday, we're trading below the daily open. I want to possibly see us close above the daily open at the end of the day. Looking at the 4 hour here, take out these annotations. Again, having an uptrend. So right here, we respected this 4 hour. We had a buy back up. Right, still have not taken this high out yet. I'm going to go to the 1 hour, see what's being respected. So right here in this 1 hour, this is really nice to see. We have this 1 hour fair value gap that I'm going to draw out. This has got respected once. We came up, took this high. We're coming back down. We're going to see if it gets respected again. So I drew this out so we can actually kind of see this now. Going to the 15 minute. Not really too much to see here. We are in this 15 minute right here that we have respected. So most likely, and I'm actually going to draw this out now. We should respect this 15 minute. And we don't have to go anywhere down here to the 1 hour. So right here, we have SMT. SMT-TP gets hit. We form an SMT up here. Displacement down. We create a fair value gap right here. I want to see this low get taken. Did we tap into the fair value gap right here? No, we didn't. But we did tap into this one. So this fair value gap right here is the first fair value gap that we tapped into after creating this SMT. We still have not taken this low out. Now it is obviously 5 a.m. so I would not be trading at this time. But if I did see the setup, I would take this entry. I'd put my stop at here. This would be a very simple trade. Depending on the amount of points I'm risking, I may put it up to... I honestly may put it up to this candle high to leave some more room, because we could come back up. This would be 9 points. Probably wouldn't do that. I'd probably just keep it at this candle's high, and I'd want to see a sell-off down to this low. That would actually end up getting taken. So it probably would be best to... Honestly, it probably would do this body, because this is a small fair value gap. Right here, we just created triple highs. So I'm also going to draw this out as buy side. We did just create these triple highs. I would expect this to probably come up here to sweep them, but it didn't. So we came out, take this protected this protected low in SMT-TP. Now, take a look at this candle. This is like a sweep, so you could expect to see a little higher. We're also in this 15-minute fair value gap. We actually come down again. We form an SMT right here. And we end up just very slowly going into this SMT-TP. Then we form another SMT right here. So now we actually may come down to take out this SMT-TP, and we take out this protected low. Again, they're like a sweep. We're also having, we're kind of having a downtrend into this macro. I would like to see it reverse. Still just selling off. On a higher time frame though, we still probably are respecting this 15-minute, just because this could all just be a wick on a higher time frame. Right here, we finally get a displacement candle up, create a fair value gap. We're tapped into the fair value gap, and we respect it. Since I saw this, if we were to tap into another fair value gap, I probably would take it. So like this. If we tapped into this here, honestly I may take this right here and put my stop down at this low, just because this right here could signal that we are finally done being in a downtrend. So you can see we take out this first TP. I probably would not take off here though. I probably would take off maybe Well, I would be looking to take off at this buy side right here, but may also want to just take off at this high right here. This is another swing high, so this could be another TP. But we will see, do we respect this 1 minute right here? If we do, we'll go higher. We just respected it, so we went higher. And looks like this is where we ended up going. So there's your uptrend. Sort of in a downtrend here, we form an SMT. We're probably going to take up this low. We're also respecting this 1 minute. Take a look at how much we're respecting this 1 minute. If we're respecting this 1 minute this much, we have an SMT formed up here. There's probably a high chance that we'll come down and take out this SMT TP. So there, we did it right there. We tap into this 1 minute again that was previously respected. We ended up just running right through it. We kind of respected it here, but we just ran right through it. Doesn't look like I really annotated much on this day. There probably wasn't too much. We come up, take this previously protected high. Right, this macro did absolutely nothing. This macro here, we can expect to see a pretty large candle for 8:30 or not. Right, this is actually a very, very small candle for 8:30. It was 8:31 that we had a bigger candle though. So right here, just sort of chopping. I want to see if this is a rebalance to equilibrium. This is actually really close. Okay, so right here, we come down, tap into discount of the range, also into this 1 minute. This is just a nice stacked PD array that I like to see. Again, though, we do have this SMT right here with displacement down. So I do not expect this to get respected. I just expect us to sell off down to this low. So that's what happens right there. We sell off down to this low. And then additionally, we form an SMT right here. And we have beautiful displacement up. So if I see this right after this SMT is created and we just took out this low, I will definitely expect us to come up and take these. So if we were to tap into a fair value gap, I would take it. So right here, here's your fair value gap tap. I would take my entry right in here. This would be first entry. Stop would be at this candle's low. So right here, this is a little tricky. We do have an uptrend going into this macro, so we could see a reversal to the downside. We're still in this 1 minute, but we'll probably get stopped out because we're kind of not showing much strength to the upside. Right here, though, we do have a nice candle that comes up. It does end up being just a wick, and this gets hit. Personally, though, in this trade, if I was in this trade and we actually came back down here, I probably would have a TP set at this high, though. So if I was in this trade, I would take it out at this high, take some out. I'd probably get stopped at profit. Right here, though, we do tap into this 1 minute again, and we end up coming up and taking all of these highs. So this is definitely a manipulation candle. This is like the perfect example of a manipulation candle because, right, we're respecting this model. We're just coming up, and this manipulation candle just says no. And it just sweeps all these lows, taps into this 1 minute, and then just heads higher. So these would be the standard deviation projections. We should go up to here. It looks like we end up not doing that. So price is just not being efficient here at all. It's being really inefficient. If I saw this right here, honestly, I probably would just not trade because most likely the rest of the day will just be crap. Until news hits. Let's see, I just want to see on this day. So this is the 11th. Yeah, there's no news on this day. So there's 10-year bond action at 1:01 p.m. But most of this day, it's probably just going to be very low probability. And that's sort of the days that you want to just take off trading. Most days you're not even going to trade. I only like to trade on days that are really highly probable and that are good for setups. So days like this, I would just not trade. I'd find something else to do. But we have an SMT right here. Displacement up, SMT TP. Gets hit. You can see we're in a downtrend going into this macro. After we close above this high, so right here we take out this SMT TP. But so here's going into a macro, here's what different confluences will tell me. Let's pretend that we didn't have this SMT TP right here and it was just like this. I would want to wait for this candle right here to close above this wick, right? I would want this candle to close above this wick to then enter in the next fair value gap. In this example, I would not take a trade here. But if we had an SMT right here, right, signifying that we want to go higher, we displace off of that. Any fair value gap that we hit, I will take a trade into. So if we had an SMT down here, it would make the reversal more probable. I would take an entry right into here. And then we could possibly see this high get hit. We do hit this fair value gap though, so this would probably be my first scaling point. This fair value gap, because we could stop here. So this would be first TP. And then up here would be second TP. Down here as well, I would also consider this as a manipulation leg. We tap to 2.5 here. We're into a macro, we may get a little bit of a retrace. Here we close below this low. Fair value gap tapped into. So we have an uptrend, we close below this low, fair value gap tap. This would be first entry. I'd probably take some off at this fair value gap. That's also why I really like this indicator. It's called Fair Value Gap by Nephew Sam. It's really nice because you can see the fair value gaps. For example, there's a 15-minute. If we go into this 15-minute, I'd scale because it's a PD array that's going to possibly make us go higher. So right here, I'd scale. This would be a winning trade. Put this up here. Alright, now we form an SMT right there. Displacement down. I do expect this low to then get taken. This high is protected. We come up, almost tap into the 1 minute. But we don't end up getting an entry right here. So we sell off. Now we're into this macro. In this macro, I want to see displacement above a recent high. This is a closure above a high. There's no really fair value gap we tap into, but we do form an SMT here. After this SMT, we get a strong candle up. This candle creates a fair value gap. If we enter into this candle, I would always take this entry. So right here, there would be your entry, and now I want to see us go higher. So first scaling point could be at right here, because this is where 5-minute fair value gap starts, also is a recent high. I could also see us tap into discount. This is around discount, so maybe up here. Right? This taps discount, could head lower from here. So we had a little lower. We retap into this previously respected 1 minute, and we form an SMT, and we're going higher. So I do expect this high to get taken next. There we go. That gets taken. We form an SMT up here. We get displacement down. Here's your breakaway gap. We tap into it. Right, SMT, displacement down. Here's your fair value gap that's created. Could possibly take a first entry in here to then see this low get taken. And we equal a low, and then we take it out. So that'd be a winning trade. Right after we take it out, we come up to take this protected high. You can also see in most of these models right here, this is also Power of 3 or AMD model. So it's where we have accumulation right here. We have manipulation down here to manipulate all of these lows. And then after we manipulate those lows, we come up and we distribute higher. All right, so now going into this macro, it looks like we're in an uptrend. So we are in an uptrend going into this macro. Right here could be a recent low. We definitely take out this recent low here. So with this, I would not want to take into the first fair value gap. Let's say we came up and we tapped into this fair value gap right here. I personally would not take this. I would actually, since this is a bigger range, I'd look at discount and I'd probably take an entry into this one right here. Just because I want to make my risk to reward a little bit better. All right, so right here, you can see we tap into discount. Right now, a few things here. This macro could either just be a retrace to tap into discount. So you can see we come down, we tap into discount of this previous range, and we're also in these PD rays. We're in this 1 minute right here. So we could go higher here, or on the flip side right here, on this range of the down move, we actually come up and we tap to discount here. We could either just keep going higher or respect this. It's either one or the other. So this is where you would kind of want to look at external bias. We did sweep this low, right? We did, though, from this manipulation leg, we have tapped into discount. Right after hitting 2.5, we tapped into discount. We're waking our way back up. We could honestly probably see this get taken. I would expect this right here to probably get hit. Also, like I said earlier, I want to see us close above the daily opening gap because we've traded below, or daily opening. Right, this is the daily open. I said I wanted to see us, we're trading below it, and I want to see us end the day above it. So with all these confluences mixed together, also it is almost 2 p.m. I do want to see this get disrespected and us go on the upside. So there we go. We disrespected it. We're going to the upside. And I kind of do expect us to just sort of trend upwards for a while here because of the time of the day. Right, I am spot on with this. We're just trading upwards. We finally have tapped in this 3.5 to 4. But yeah, you can see right here, if you took a long position, let's say you took an entry at this 1 minute. Okay, this would honestly not be a bad entry. Honestly, I think the best area to take an entry, if you see this 1 minute get respected, we come up, and then you see this right here. This 1 minute right here, I would definitely take this entry. I would take this. You can put your stop at this low. And you can just see if you took this entry, we would just run up, run up, run up, right? And then if you looked at a higher time frame, obviously, you could maybe see or take off that this is all-time highs. So there's nowhere to take off. Alright, so let's see what happens here now at the end of the day. Right, we form an SMT. A little bit of hesitation, but we do take out this SMT TP. We're in a downtrend going into this macro. Right here would be your market structure shift. This is a recent high. We close above it. And then we come down, tap into this 1 minute for value gap. This would be first entry. I want to see us take out this protected high now. Or at least I'd probably scale at these equal highs first. Or actually, these aren't equal highs. I'd probably scale at this high first. A little bit better of a scale would probably be this right here, this fair value gap, because this is a draw of liquidity. So this would be first TP. This would also be pretty good risk. Right, just taking only up at here, you may be thinking like, oh, this is barely even that high. Well, if you look at the risk to reward ratio, let me draw this out. You took an entry right here, you put your stop down at here, you put your TP up here. This would be almost a 1 to 3 risk to reward. That is a good risk to reward. So let's see, you took that off there. You can see we form another SMT right here. This is kind of end of the day though, but I do expect this protected high to now get taken. And then it gets taken right there. And now it is just about 4 o'clock, so this should just be the end of the day. See how we just basically consolidate the rest of the day. So again, looking at this, you can see we started below daily open, and then we ended up trading and finishing above daily open. And looking at the 4 hour, you can see we just absolutely gone higher. We respected this 4 hour like earlier. We also did create some engineered sell side, so these could get taken out in the future. Same thing with these. But yeah, this is where we ended the day. So that's all I have for this video. Again, feel free to check out my Discord server in the link in the description. You'll get free access to a bunch of stuff. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next episodes.